We have never seen this before, and quite frankly, the NBA is horrified of it as we have a shocking new update as it pertains to one player that is flying under the radar following some new reports, some new footage, and some leaked information regarding Jared Vanderbilt. We're going to break down exactly what that is, but most importantly, discuss some new things that have come out. And folks, this is way better than we could have thought. Ton to go over today as well. It's Luka Doncic speaking out on missing preseason and some other Lakers updates to go over on this episode. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been truly unbelievable, so thank you guys for that. We're on the road to the big goal, 30,000 subscribers. If you want to help us towards that goal, make sure to hit the subscribe button. You guys are absolute beasts. Folks, let's dive right into it now. Of course, the Lakers had their preseason game yesterday, and it didn't go according to plan. Keshi had a video on it, and quite frankly, it was a rough one, right? There is some concerns. I never take too much preseason into account, but I'm going to be kind of shifting focus on something that not a lot of people outside of Lakers fans, and honestly, not a lot of Lakers fans, I don't think are shedding enough light here, and this is about Jared Vanderbilt. Now, we know Jared Vanderbilt's on the Lakers for a few years now, and he's had a very interesting, tenure with the Lakers. When he first got traded over here, really, really good. We saw his impact immediately. Ended up getting hurt, missed a lot of last year, never really got his feet under him. Folks, he now has a new revamped jump shot that we didn't see too much yesterday. But folks, we saw his defensive ability yesterday, but we have never seen this before from Jared Vanderbilt. The NBA hasn't seen this before, quite frankly, from Jared Vanderbilt. And if he can find a way to be a somewhat efficient shooter, this changes a lot for this team. You can see this here. New Lakers teammate Jake LaRavia, who inked a 2-year deal, raved about what Vanderbilt has done to his jump shot, saying it looks much better than it did before. It's gotten much better. I know early on in my career, we didn't respect him as a shooter, but fair to say that he can shoot the ball very well. Now, he's been hitting shots. I don't know if he tweaked something. It looks really good, and it's going in. And it seems that he did actually tweak something. And this is pretty exciting to me because, again, I'm going to try to take the positive approach to this. And obviously, there's a lot of negativity going on because of the preseason game yesterday, and I'll dive into that a little bit. No LeBron, no Luka, obviously, right? But I want to focus in on Jared Vanderbilt. Now, his role heading into this season is going to be more important than ever. Now, yes, they acquired, of course, Marcus Smart, but since trading away Anthony Davis, defense has been a focal point for this team in the sense of they needed to get better defensively in the offseason. Did they do that? I mean, yes, they got Marcus Smart, and they kept Jared Vanderbilt, and I think Jared Vanderbilt having a full training camp, full preseason, and a full now offseason with Luka Doncic and I'm not saying that Luka Doncic is going to unlock something crazy in Jared Vanderbilt, but that is possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility here if that jump shot is real. And JJ Redick recently came out and said that he already heaped a ton of praise on Vanderbilt, saying he looks much better now that he's finally healthy. It's night and day the way Vando is moving right now, even from when we finished the season. Redick said that his growth in body mechanics this summer is significant, and this is the big thing here. It's not necessarily about him being healthy, because we know what what Vanderbilt can provide defensively. We've seen it, and not everyone, most people have a pretty good idea, right? What's different now is the fact that his jump shot seems better and his body mechanics, like being able to actually be fully healthy, is something we haven't seen in a while. And the Lakers do, you can see here, need a healthy Jared Vanderbilt to reach their ceiling. I've been on record saying they need one more piece to really be championship contenders. Obviously, you can always win a championship when you have LeBron and Luka on your team. But to be real favorites and contenders, I think they needed one more piece, whether that be Andrew Wiggins, whether that be someone else. Can Vando be that piece? I don't know. No, I don't think so. But if he can be an elite defender with a serviceable jump shot, we saw last year, Vando is not super playable in high leverage games in the playoffs or things like that, for the simple fact that, hey, he can just be left. Like Jake LaRavia literally says right here, they can just leave him in the corners. This is super encouraging. Now let's go back. Of course, he was traded back in 2022 to the Lakers. Only played 36 games last year. The year before, 29 games. This is someone who hasn't been able to be healthy. And let's look at his three-point percentage. It's been horrible with the Lakers, right? On his career, it's only 28%. If you can get that to even slightly below league average, let's say 32%, 31%, hell, 30%, right? Really, 33 to 36 is where you need to be if you're Vanderbilt. You then have an elite defender that JJ Redick can actually employ within the offense now because Luka Doncic gets everyone else so open. It can actually change a lot of things. And we saw in yesterday's preseason game, one of the only bright spots was Jared Vanderbilt. You can see this here from Trevor Lane. Vando's on-ball defense was tenacious, but LA's defense was a concern, consistently giving up open looks. And There was a lot of weird defensive plays yesterday. Ayton looked okay defensively. You can see here some of the defensive problems were compounded by poor offense/shot making. That's going to be less of a problem, of course, as they get some of their guys back. And I'm not obviously going to dive fully into the game because we have another game around the corner, right? But I wanted to focus on Vando's defense, and that's something big. We saw it with an on-ball steal, and of course, yes, there was some bad things that happened in the game defensively, overall, especially offensively. But Vando is still that great defender. He is now going to be fully healthy for the first time in ages, and he can probably provide what he provided when he first came over from, the Jazz there, and even with his time in Minnesota. He was a very good defender. We saw that last year. If he can get that jump shot down, folks, NBA could actually be scared because I'm not saying the NBA should be scared because Jared Vanderbilt is going to average 20 points a game, but because this team, if you add an elite defender who can actually shoot the ball as well in spot ups, Vando will get a million open threes a game, be the point of attack defender that they've been desperately seeking. Maybe he can be a little band-aid until the trade deadline where they go out and they get a guy like Andrew Wiggins, they get a guy like Herb Jones, someone like that. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. A few other things here. I do want to quickly touch on the game yesterday, just give my thoughts. I thought Reaves looked great. I thought Ayton looked pretty bad. Defensively, sure. He had that comment saying that he wanted to show the team I'm more committed on the defensive end more than the offense. I'm not here for numbers. I'm just here for whatever the Lakers really want me to do. Great quote, especially given the character issues that people highlighted in the past. However, I want him to score the ball. It's pretty simple, right? I want him to score the ball, especially at a point where you don't have Luka and things like that. Like, you need to be able to score the ball. And that was a big issue overall. Finished with 1 point, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. Good rebounder, good shot blocker, decent defender that game. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And also a note on Vando before I wrap up here. He gave some big praise yesterday to the team. I think we could be elite. We got a lot of size, a lot of length, a lot of veteran leadership. We got bodies to be physical, and we should be tougher. We should have the dog-like mentality every game. Vando, Marcus Smart backcourt, and obviously, Vando's not playing the backcourt, but sorry, not a backcourt. Vando, Marcus Smart, on the court together pairing. I'm here for it if they can shoot the ball, because otherwise that's going to be atrocious, of course. Offensively, that's the biggest question, though, and I do ultimately believe in him being fully healthy and being able to be committed to his jump shot. We've seen a lot of the work in the offseason and things like that. It's time to show it. Now, quickly, I want to transition to Luka Doncic because he came out and recently spoke out about the offseason with the Lakers, and he was asked to describe his training camp in 3 words, and he said fun, excitement, hard. And if you've been following the Lakers, the big word is championship commitment. Committing to championship of the practice, everything, right? Train like a champion. That's what JJ Redick, that's what the entire staff is pushing for. And, Luka Doncic's first offseason with the Lakers seems to be loving it. And obviously, this is not the first player. I think LeBron as well said, this offseason was hard. You're under JJ Redick now. The goal is a championship, and that's all that matters. And he said, for me, I can't wait for the regular season. I know it's way different than the preseason. Can't wait for the real games. But getting the practices, getting chemistry, that's about it. Going to be interesting to see how everything shapes up here, folks. Let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are on all this. Obviously, Vando's hoping to fill in a role similar to what, maybe replace some of the defense. They lost with Dorian Finney-Smith. Going to be scary if he's able to do so. Let me know down below your thoughts are. You guys are beasts. Cheers.